Stand up! Vanguard!
What's up everyone, Clark here from Vanguard Central with my friends Nikki and Josh. So we're coming back from a good weekend in San Diego where we play tested, had a little fun, just hung out for a Labor Day weekend, before school really gets going and, work, all those kinds of things. But we wanted to bring a discussion about the meta, a little bit about Bushy Road, and, just bring you a tier list as well of where the plans sit right now, even including tier 8, not tier 8, was it GB8, right? So, hopefully this will be a really good competitive discussion for you. So Nikki is going to start us off with tier 1, so go ahead.
Tier 1 we have Shadows, Royals, Gears, Granblue, Angels, and Ninjoker. So let's start off with Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow Paladin.
We think, this is not an order by the way. Shadows is we just think has a lot of options. Well, like Abyss, and Diablo just has that easy gimmick.
Yeah, that gimmick, the Diablo cheddar, the cheese.
We think that's really good, especially with some decks. Or some people forgetting about Diablo. And if they have less than 4 rears and then they have 2 death sprays, it's like Diablo right there. And with Abyss, we just think it has so many options. More restanding, and just Diablo. Yeah, we think that's also really good.
Yeah, Revengers, I personally play the deck, and I think it's highly consistent, and that's what puts Shadow Paladins up there, because they have they could have the best of both worlds. They have a really good stride zone, they have a good Legion game, and they also do a little bit of everything, right? They can superior call from the deck, right, with Mordred Break Ride. They can also restand. They also have a restanding stride, and they hit you for 36k to the face for 1 CB. And then they can do all those when it attack shenanigans. So Shadow's definitely still a threat. They also tutor very well with the deck, taking out possibly 6 cards with just Judge Bow hitting at that point. So assuming you call Swordbreakers, right? But the deck is just super good, and it's still a really good threat. We just have to wait and see what set 9 is going to bring to Revengers, Diablo, and how the new ritual keyword is going to affect everything. I mean, there are speculations of what ritual could be. I mean, obviously you would think that it would have to do something with retiring your own rear guards, and then you're in ritual, right? So I mean, Shadow's super good. My favorite clan. I know Josh likes them too. So yeah, Shadows is in tier 1.
Raging Form getting a reprint too.
Oh, Raging Form's getting a reprint too, but Raging Form kind of fell off when G-Guards came into play. So late game is kind of bad for them.
Next we have is Royals. I just think it's such an aggressive deck. It has so much pressure early game, high power, lots of hand power. Yeah, it's fast. It's really fast.
Yeah, grade 2 turns can be hell if you're playing against Sank Blaster or Jewel Knights. Jewel Knights is still really good.
It really only loses to Control.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. Because
Kaguro.
Kaguro kind of. It just has so much high power, and it's so free too.
Yeah. I mean, the deck just functions really well for what it does, right? Constantly changing the ratios of your deck by taking out multiple units at one time before drive check, or and it's just intense. I mean, you have Ultimile Stride, one of the freest strides in the game. Saint Blow if they need a crit at any time. Big Chin to fight against Link Choker if they run the Alfred engine, and Sanctuary Guard Blaster is just a ridiculous deck, because you can just on ride you look for whatever you want, right? Basically, you draw for free with the Ben-on Miron plays, and you're never really in doubt of whether you'll win or not, especially if you're playing against a deck that doesn't have any sort of control. So in your first stride, you can hit at least 25k with just grade 1s on your board. right? Is that right?
Let's see, 5 times 3, 15. Assuming they're triggers, 15, 20,
So, yeah,
25. Yeah.
yeah, 25, like roughly, and it's like, man, you add in Flogel with Blaster Blade or a Twin Sword on one of those, you're dead by like first try.
Yeah.
So overall, Royals is very, very good. Brave is kind of a crap mechanic. You know, like, you make like decent columns, you do all this wombo combo crap with like Slayman or Twin Sword or you know, just like grade 1s that are recorded as 2s, but like, who cares? You have 3 cards in hand. Are you gonna survive the next turn if you play against a highly offensive deck? I don't think so. So, you know, Josh is the Royal Paladin Master, so he could elaborate a little bit more on Royals.
I just think they're really good. Like, rush turn 2, win on first stride over Gallagher. You know, and if they guard early, then you're just pace out the game, and you'll still be ahead.
How do you feel about Ultimile?
Ultimile stride?
Yeah, just Ultimile in general, because I mean, the new Ultimile was a transmigration, whatever that. The new one in set 6 was just kind of poo-poo, right?
It was good.
Oh, it was good?
Like for the Ultimate deck.
For the Ultimile deck, okay. But it's like, in general, it was like not as good, right? It's not as successful.
You know, there was just better stuff.
Yeah.
Like the first Ultimate.
So yeah, what do you think of Ultimile, Josh?
The grade 3 or?
Yeah, just in general, like the deck, Brave deck.
I just don't think it's that good. Like, it's okay. You stride, and it's already cost like a Counter Blast just to get like 5k to each side. And then like the Brave mechanic in general just sucks because like you get all this cool stuff like power, blah blah, but then after that you're kind of just screwed.
Yeah, if you don't
because
win,
you were too brave. You know?
Yeah, too brave. But yeah, still Royals as a whole, super duper good. I mean, the decks you want to play are Thing Blaster and Sanctuary Blaster. At least if you're gonna play competitive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not saying that you shouldn't play Ultimile because we have to wait a little bit with more testing, maybe with set 8. But I mean, like, I don't think anyone's gonna play Brave as over if they had Sanctuary Guard, right?
If Sanctuary Guard didn't exist, then Ultimile
Would be the deck.
fine.
Yeah.
But without Brave, Ultimate is good. I think really good without Brave.
Yeah.
Because it has so high power.
You can make
So much high powers, but like I think Sanctuary does it better.
Just write
It doesn't cost anything.
Just write Giron and, you know, use Ultimile, and then that's plus 10 to 2 units, right? That's a play, right? All right, but anyways, next deck we have on tier 1 is Gear Chronicle. Yeah, so main protagonist of the show, right? Chrono Shindo. You know, Gears is just getting better and better, right? They obviously just released the new stuff for the Zodiac Time Beast, and it's just getting kind of ridiculous what they can do. You know, they already have control, right? Their main gimmick was rewinding stuff and control, but now you have this time leap shenanigans, and it's like, wow, this deck is like mini Aqua Force, but even better, you know, because they can filter their deck really well, especially with Mellum. TikTok is obviously broken. He's on the ban list for a reason, and they probably tested it out that, hey, like, you can't have TikTok as your starting Vanguard and have Zodiac Time Beast, because now this stuff is just brokes, right? They also still have Next Stage, you know, cheapest freestanding Vanguard.
Yeah, like one of the best strides in the game.
Yeah, one of the best strides in the game. You know, you can't really compete with it. And yeah, your rear guards are still really good. I mean, like, the only weakness really is your grade 2 turn, right? If you get rushed down and you don't have the cards to guard or battle back, right? You're kind of just screwed because you're at high damage or your first stride, and if the next turn, if you don't heal, you're losing a lot of resources that you could use. Anything you guys can say about Gears?
Just time leap in general is so good. It has so much pressure on the first stride, and then on the second stride you can do that again with guard restrict and a big
also have Revolution, the freest Fate Rider. You have Warp Drive Dragon, which is really, really good for the deck. You know,
So you have a lot of control and a lot of pressure over your opponent. So that's what makes the deck really good.
yeah. The deck just really loses to what?
I don't know. You play the deck a lot. What do you think?
I think Link Joker is really hard.
Kind of.
Like,
Sometimes you can.
it's either Chaos or a Freeze Ray, because they just lock my stuff before it goes off. So, you know, or they can lock my front row out. I mean, obviously I can play the control game and just pick off like the units that they need, but the game, I have to last longer than they do, right? And it's not like I run Legion, so I can't really rely on like some late game, like, oh great, I can put 4 triggers back at that point.
I think Chrono Jet's really good though too.
Yeah.
Because it helps in so many matchups. It makes some matchups
Bearable,
easier. Yeah, like Angel Feather.
Angel Feather
Especially.
is tough.
Yeah,
I
it
mean-
just helps like take key cards from the opponent's side off.
Yeah, the spot
And if you can't
removal.
tutor it back, then it puts people back.
Yeah. Oh, Aqua Force might be a little tough, right? If they get the tidal assaults off or anything like that. Multi-attacking decks could really put some pressure on Gears, but overall, like, they're just gonna get way better. Like we said earlier, with set 9 and was it set 8 or 9? Oh no, the extra booster. Extra booster and the trial deck. So
It's crazy.
yeah, and it's crazy to see that they're just gonna possibly evolve with the new Vanguard series, right? Vanguard Next, and because Chrono's still gonna be the main guy or whatever.
Next we have on the list is Granblue.
Granblue, yes.
And that's just it's such a consistent deck because they just toolbox
So good.
drops on. They have a lot of draw power, a lot of pressure.
If there's any deck I would want to own, it would be Granblue, but everyone I know has it, so there's no point. But it's fantastic. Like, let Josh talk about it. It's too good.
Well, I just think it's really good. Like, it could stall, it could rush, it has multi-attacks.
Yeah.
And they're all like magic numbers too. Like, at worst, like 16.
Yeah.
But,
For free.
you know, yeah.
On place, like Negro Rook is on place 16. Off break ride, it's 21 by itself. Like,
It's so good. It draws.
Obadiah is possibly the best ride for that deck. Like, to be honest, I think Obadiah is great because you just take out 6 cards, you find what you need, and for a super late game push, and you break ride. Say that you break ride stride into Obadiah. It's like Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you play the stand trigger variant,
yeah,
like Obadiah late game is super good.
you make beefy numbers, and it's like, man, this abuse.
It does lose to like Link Joker sometimes.
Oh, Link Joker is tough.
It's like
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard.
like it depends how you play. Maybe like Angels, Leonic.
I think any deck that could get a lot of hand power, like Great Nature, could really
Makes it hard.
stump Granblue, because if you think about it, both decks kind of hit really hard on their offensive turns, but the thing is that Great Nature will draw based off that, right? And the thing that Granblue would have to do to counteract that is they would have to draw as much as a Great Nature player.
Yeah.
So
They have a little bit of control too, so that's good.
yeah, with Cannoneer and stuff, I think that you should definitely run maybe one poker just for the Link Joker matchup, just because
That's how bad it is.
it's hell.
Yeah.
That's how hard it is.
It's super hard. Like, you can't once you have at least 2 locked, it's like, man, now my columns are kind of poo-poo, right? Now I only have to rely on a Vanguard attack, and if they have a PG, then it's like, man, what a waste, you know? So, Granblue is still super good. Cutlass is a beast. Peter, Grenache, like all that. It's only going to get better with a better G-Guard, right? Deck out is obviously very prominent, so don't mill too much. I I did that in one match because I was having so much fun. But yeah, Granblue is great, tier 1.
Next we have on the list is Angel Feather.
Yeah.
And that, like, even though Refros got hit, we still think it's a really good deck just because you have so many options in that trigger lineup. Like, that other stand that is still really good.
The rescue stand, yeah.
You can just run crits, or you can run 12 stand, like the vanilla, like what Josh runs.
Yeah.
12 stand best.
It's great. The deck, you know, the deck just gives you free advantage for a name. They're just dumb.
You have so much hand power in that deck, and you can go off any time you want.
Yeah. You could stall. Like, you have healing. Like, the fact that the deck is able to instant heal and also get free free damage checks that are, like, you know, rescue the whole mechanic, right? It's just ridiculous. It's free. It's nothing that really costs, right? They manipulate their damage zone in order to be successful, and with Broken Heart, you have like 1 or 2 Broken Hearts on the board, you do 1 no seal grade 1 guard, and it's like, alright, +4 to my Vanguard, automatic.
Oh, and I got 3 more cards to my ankle.
Yeah, and you add more cards to your hand for nothing.
Yeah.
So I think no seal is the variant you want to play. I mean, Gabriel is definitely very good in like some matchups because of the on-stride ability, so you're able to get units, and you're also able to have really good defensive plays if you have Broken Hearts on the board.
Gabriel is more aggressive than,
Yeah.
like, defensive. Like, no seal, you just gotta add cards to it. You don't really gotta do that with Gabriel.
Yeah, but the no seal stride is just broken.
Yeah.
That stride is just crazy. You can have at least, was it like 3, 4, 5 attacks at least, right? Comboing that with rescue, like, that's just so good, and you get more free cards.
The Gabriel shred's really good too. That Penta drive.
Yeah,
it's
you're
gonna get a stand no matter what. Well, like, you're very likely to get a stand.
Yeah, Penta drive is never bad, right? And if you run like a lot of stands, or if you run some crits, hey, the more power to you. That column is gonna be beefy.
Yeah.
So, you know, Angels puts on a lot of pressure. Grade 2s are obviously really good. Healing at any moment is fantastic. So, Angels is in tier 1, of course.
So next we have on the list is Link Joker.
Yeah, Link Joker. Nikki can talk about that all day.
It just counters like a lot of decks. It can get, like, Chaos, it's really good. It can get countered like by some decks. But it's a stally deck, and it has so much hand power. It pokes a lot, and it just controls your opponent's whole field.
Yeah, I think Chaos's worst matchups are like Kaguro, Naru and Messiah. But
Like any, like, unlucky
Yeah.
deck, really.
or even maybe Mega Colony, just but
No.
but
So you lock their field then.
oh,
They
that
have
is
the
true.
destroyer.
Yeah, they have to destroy. That is true. But that's if they commit, right? So
Universe is the best. If they don't commit, then you have Universe. If they commit, you have every other card in your deck. Like Chaos Breaker, the Critical Trigger, Photon, Iron. It's so, and Messiah is also really good too, because you have a lot of pressure with accuracy and solids. You have Spaghetti Noodle
Yeah.
Monster.
Spaghetti is like super good for Messiah. It's probably one of the cards that just makes it broken. It's like, hey, you commit a field, all right, lock 5, buddy.
And you have a lot of hand power too with that GB2. It's so free with Spaghetti.
Yeah, and like Freeze Ray is obviously just screws up your attack pattern, so at least like 1 or 2 of your first offensive strides are just crap.
What's the real name of the spaghetti? People might not know what's
Oh, Spaghetti? Oh, God.
I don't know the name.
Jeez, I just always refer to... Oh, Transels.
Oh, yeah.
Transels Messiah. There it is.
We're like, what are they talking about? Spaghetti?
Yeah, sorry. Well, I mean, like, everybody should kind of know, right? It's a purple linguine. But, yeah, like, Link Joker just presents, like, a huge stalling matchup that screws you. You know, it's winnable. I think more people should practice it. I mean, it sucks to play against, but when you defeat it and you, like, you're like, man, I was locked out for 4 turns, but I beat the poop out of that Messiah or something, you know, it just feels good. So, Link Joker, lock mechanic, like, not the leaders. The leaders is trash. Alright?
Yeah.
Leaders is super trashy. Messiah or Chaos Breaker, those are the decks you want to play.
So that's it for tier 1 for now.
Tier 1.5.
We got Bermuda, Kaguro, Aqua Force, and Dimension.
So you may be wondering why there's a tier 1 and a 1.5. It's just because things in tier 1 beat most of the things in tier 1.5, right?
And they're just better.
And it's just like, it's kind of hard to really differentiate between a lot of the clans, right? Because of what they do and stuff like that. But a lot of the clans in tier 1 are very consistent, have a lot of win conditions, and the clans in tier 1.5 can kind of brick at times, right? So, like, because we've tested a lot of decks, and this is what separates the best from the best, in our opinions. Okay, so go ahead, Nikki, tell them what we got.
So, first we got Bermuda, and we just think Bermudas are good, but we think gears are just better. They do like almost the same thing.
Except for the control aspect.
Yeah,
but
except for that. But just better. They have the multi-attacks with like time leap and stuff, but in Bermuda's is balance. We have the vert and like next stage, but like next stage has like that guard restrict. Bermuda's does have more hand power, but the gears just have more pressure and just a little bit of that control. And that's why we put Bermuda's in 1.5.
I feel like you could kind of lose to more things with Bermuda a little bit if you're not careful with what you bounce and stuff like that. Obviously, the deck to play right now for Bermuda is Prism, because of their next stage clone, kind of, and you know, they obviously have Garnet, who's really good defensively, right? The triple drive is okay, but the fact that you can heal out of it makes it very inconsistent at that point. Same with Vert Stride. Like you just can heal out of things, and it's like, well, now my play's dead at that point. Labrador is really, really good, I think. It seals games with the crit, and like it's a free.
Olivia.
Yeah, and Olivia is super good. Olivia play is obviously never bad, but it's just enhanced when you have a Spica on board.
Yeah, Spica just makes the deck have a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
With Olivia, that crit and then those multi-attacks do a lot sometimes. And with the Vert, it's really good too, because you usually ride a Labrador or a Garnet, and then you get those attacks again. But like, so you would have to have a grade 3 in your hand already. So unless you're running Stridefodders, you're going to be teaching 3s like most of the game. So that's why some people run 2 Vert, and some people run 4 Vert. So.
And you have to mess with your ratios to have 9 grade 3s just to ensure that as well. I mean, the deck has really good avenues with like bouncing, was it clear the crit, right?
Yeah.
To just put it back in, and like it has unflipping potential just because of late, but when you don't, if you don't have a late, or like, you know, you're playing control, you're basically shut out of the game, because then your bouncing gimmick is kind of destroyed. I mean, you lose to Denial Griffin, right? You lose to Link Joker.
Chaos mostly.
Okay.
You have a good chance against Messiah.
Yeah.
Because you're always bouncing your field. But against Chaos, you just kind of lose.
Like, the Shadow matchup isn't terrible, but it's definitely, like, you need to think a lot more for that. And then, like, Gears just rewinds your whole field if you leave it there.
And it'll have so much pressure with the time leaping.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a toss-up a little bit. And then Royals just hits super hard.
Yeah, early too. Like,
Early.
Bermuda do have that Celtic, but that's really it. Like, they'll plus the card, but Royals will do it they'll plus the card and they'll gain a full field.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's like Gears and Royals and other clans do a lot better.
So when you were testing it yesterday, Josh, how did you feel about playing Prisms?
Oh, I thought it was really good. I did heal out of Limit Break one time, so that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And then I was on Vert too, so I was just like, oh crap, now what?
now my play sucks.
Yeah.
And I just strode.
So be careful with that.
Yeah. I mean, overall the deck is super good. but that's why it's just not in tier 1,
Yeah.
right?
This like it's really good. Like Celtic is
Super funny.
Yeah, the guy I played like guarded every single one, so it made my end game a lot easier. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like it really just doesn't do more than or as much as like the decks that are above it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So next we have is Kaguro. One of the fan favorites, I would say, right? Overlords is the deck to play. If you're playing Blade Master, I'm sorry to you, but that deck just sucks. It should just be like for beginners.
They should have a start deck.
Yeah, like it should just be a start deck. Like the deck is just not good. Like for all the flash it shows on the anime, like why would you play that over something that restands as, you know, the freaking GR, right? The secret, was it the super flare? I don't know. The Defeat Flare, yes. Whatever.
Super flare.
Denial.
And Denial.
Well,
And
like Denial, you can really use it. But
yeah.
like, Blade Master, it's like I would kind of compare it to like a regular Stargazer deck, like Infinite Zero or something, where if your opponent doesn't call any rears, or like they're either bouncing it or retiring them like Shadows or Great Nature, then you kind of just have to play vanilla.
I mean, like you still have Titan, which is the best.
Titan, that's only
The best
like,
ride there.
That's your just crit, no power gains, no nothing. So
Yeah, I mean it's still like obviously like screws with your opponent a little bit, but I think with Overlords you have so many avenues you want to play. Like you want to restand right now, awesome. You want to guard restrict, okay, I can do that with Novell. You have Titan, and then like technically you turn your defense into offense, right? Because you're using the Denial Griffin, or using Defeat Flare to basically shut your opponent out of things. But the problem with Defeat Flare a little bit is that it's hard to pull off.
like they have to have a full field. Their Vanguard has to
Swing first.
or like swing like yeah, first kind of deal.
Yeah, but like the obnoxious plays you can do with Kaguro are just so dumb. Like you could have the Hulk Roar build, right?
Sedig, Denial.
Yeah, Denial, Sedig, Hulk Roar. Alright,
Belloc.
you lose 3 units and Belloc. Like, what the heck? Or you just lose 3 consistently because you use Denial, Belloc, Sedig. And it's like, okay, now I just took care of one whole column and I just screwed up another one. So it's like, you know, Kaguro is just really good, but the problem with the deck is that it's slow. And you have to grind out your matches in order to win. And not saying that's bad, but especially with the new 25-minute time limit, and you're not drawing, say you're not drawing your pieces because you run like 8 crit 4 draw or something, you need to at least run a little bit more draws in order to see what you need, because the only things that search your deck are Conroe and Legend.
Yeah.
That's it. And then your deck is just a brick that you have to search. You have to like, you know, like crack through at that point. If you don't run like Gatling Claw or anything like that.
You don't really have much of it, so you gotta get like moved on by Shadows and Royals.
Yeah,
Some other decks.
like your early game is just countering with a burnout, right?
Burnout,
Yeah, with a burnout and maybe a Sedig. Or if you run Berserk Dragon, but it's like, okay, go ahead and CB2 because the rest of the game you ain't got crap to do anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, Kaguro, and if you don't run Unflipping Perfect guards, everything you do is super expensive, right? If I Legend, that's 1 CB. If I Titan, that's another CB, right? And then if I have like some ridiculous stuff like Hulk Roar, that's 2 CB.
Denial, Defeat Flare, that's 1 CB.
That's 1 CB. Like everything is super expensive, and you still have to remember, like, hey, I have to unflip for the ace or my Legend restand play, or like Novell. Like you just need those unflips desperately. So, and Kaguro just doesn't perform. I don't think it performs well to decks that can really just hit it super hard. So that's why Kaguro's in 1.5. Like we say, all the decks in tier 1 just do what it does, but better. Right.
Next we have is Aqua Force. And some people might think, whoa, why is Aqua Force like with like Bermuda, Kaguro, and like Aqua? And it's like, it's a really good deck. It has that really game pressure with Tidal. So
Yeah, Tidal Assault's still a thing.
Blue Wave is really good. Ripple's like pretty good too. Oh, and Davos is really good. Has a hand, has a
Turns offense into hand power, like. But the thing with the deck is it needs draws, it needs pieces. You don't see your pieces, you're just like,
You need your 2s in that deck.
yeah, your 2s are just super important. And like, you know, it's not like the battle, like the wave concept is hard to accomplish, but you kind of just lose to control as well. Like, you don't have Skyros as your Vanguard, like if you're playing Tetra, or, you know, Thavas, at least you have the best of both worlds, kind of, right? Especially with the new 16 stride zone, you could run 4 Lambros and 4 Thavas now, right? Instead of 8 like it was before. So you have that flexibility. But I don't know, like the deck is still really good. You just don't hear a lot about it.
And then Ripples, they have that like lots of deck that
Yeah, Ripples is still good.
lots of multi attack, and it's just people don't run it because they dropped it the bandwagon.
I mean, Odysseus kind of just died, right? Like, it's harder to get to him, and he's kind of what made Ripples like OP, because you could do his skill. If you had multiples, you could do it like 3 times, and it's like, well, I'm screwed because you just thinned a lot.
Yeah.
But even getting to 1 in your opening hand,
It's just good.
you're good to go.
Yeah. But Aqua Force, like, it just loses to some decks that are in tier 1. You know, I'm not saying that they are bad or anything. It's just, you know, you lose to Denial, you lose to like Joker again. You can get hit really hard by Royals because you don't have hand power.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why they're in tier 1.5.
Next we have is Dimension Police. And Dimension Police is like, it's really good, but not like tier 1 good, I guess. I don't know.
Like they're floating, I would say. It's kind of hard because we were debating about this. We didn't want too many tier 2s, so that's why we made the tier 1.5. So we don't have that super long list of tier 1, but we have this like small like zone where these clans, you know, they display really good potential.
They perform better.
Yeah,
than
like, but
clans in tier 2.
the problem with DP is that they can brick, like super duper hard. If they brick, you're done.
The Laurel just makes the deck like 100 times better.
Laurel is ridiculous.
But if you're playing Grand Gallop, well,
Don't play Grand Gallop.
Just don't.
It's just drop it. Don't even look for it on the websites. Like, who cares? Like, oh my god, I'm hitting for 44k because my Vanguard boosted and I pumped it up to 1 million. All right, buddy, I got a PG. Let's carry on. You don't get any benefits from wasting your counter. I mean, I get benefits because you waste your counterblast. You know? So, and if you don't hit, your play is dead.
Dimension Robo has that like lots of pressure. It's very scary. And Daikaizers and Booster, the OTK.
Yeah, OTK build is good to play, and Metalborgs is just hard.
Yeah.
Just really hard to play that like deck right now.
It's too slow.
And plus with G Guardians, it's like, okay, well now we just kind of nullified what you want, your whole gimmick. But at least with the OTK build, you can pump everything to at least 7. Like the highest I've seen is like 70k or whatever. You know, that's like super lucky. And I've dropped at least 100k guard at one point to guard that thing. But guess what? It has guard break, and it's super sacky. What's it? D Robos is super hard to play against. Like, granted, yes, the deck can definitely brick, but if you run 4 Laurels and you drop everything turn 2 to attack your opponent and you hit, it's like the high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And the longer games go, the more in favor it goes into DP. Why? Because the deck becomes super thin. You have at least half your deck is targets for either power or for shield break. So on Leon plays, on your break ride, you're hitting with 3 crit. It's scary, right? And Die Earth allows you to search for 2 cards and basically take out 5.
Die Earth is so good.
Yeah, like it basically takes out 5 cards, and then you follow it up with the Leon with a full field and Laurel, and it's like, well, if I drop a PG, it's either he gets it or he doesn't, and if he gets it, I'm screwed because I lose instantly. So, and Josh loves that deck because it's hilarious. So
Yeah, it's like if they overguard and you don't break guard or whatever, don't break shield, it's like, cool, I'm winning anyways.
well, yeah, because they drop extra cards. They drop like 2 G guards and a PG just to make sure you don't hit this turn.
It's like, alright, cool, I'll go into my second Dire for a crit.
Yeah, or I'll go into my second Leon, or my break ride Legion play. It's like, dang, the deck has like a little bit of endless possibilities. So that's why Gundams are very good. It's just hard as well to play against control. Kaguro is a super hard matchup.
Yeah.
Link Joker obviously locks you out. Granblue can hit a lot harder than you. Same with Royal Paladin. But
even though you have that like all powers in the Vanguard, but if you don't have rears for Royal and other stuff, it's kind of like you just lose.
yeah,
That's why I just like, but they kind of win if like they get crits.
and obviously G assist is a thing. You know.
If they're 40 euros.
Yeah.
The Europa, because you play awkward ratios.
Yeah, you play like 10 grade 3s, like 10, like 9 or 10 grade 2s, and then like all these different grade 1s, but then it's Laurel, and you don't really want to misride, because if you misride, then you lose the crit for later on, so it's still super good.
And whoever thinks like just Laurel should be at lower than 4.
You're crazy, man. You're just not
Like,
playing
just play
the deck
4.
right.
They're either really cheap or really bad.
Yeah. Like that, Laurel is just ridiculous. There's no reason to not play it at 4.
Well, that wraps up tier 1.5.
Yeah, tier 1s and 1.5. We'll come back with tier 2. Alright, so we're back with some tier 2 action right now. Almost home. It's a great feeling. Long weekend, but Nikki started us off with tier 2.
Tier 2, we got Golds, Neon Nectar, Norikami, Nova Grappler, and Green Peach.
Yeah, and Mega Colony.
Yeah, oh yeah, Mega Colony.
Yeah. So, starting off with Golds, obviously super consistent in the sense of calling a bunch of units from the deck, hitting for super high numbers with the Gargoyd Stride, and Scorch Point is obviously super funny.
Ezel is really good too.
Ezel is good.
Against Link Jokers and just in general, because you just get a free card, free power.
Yeah.
Like almost free. So that's really good. Gargoyd is the power it gains late game is so weird after you're just attacking with like Scourge Point and stuff like that. And they're just dropping PGs and just makes your whole field super big.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just get them with that.
I think like the weaknesses of Golds though is that they really don't have a lot of hand overall as a plant, right? Because you don't really see them running any draws because of the stands, like the stand trigger that...
Stand trigger is so good.
Yeah, like the stand trigger is really good, but sometimes it just screws up your attack patterns. And then you also...
It's very kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's very CB heavy, so you can't run the unflipping perfect guards. And then when you run the grade 1 that Soul Blast 2 unflips 2, you're just conflicting with what Gargoyd does, right? And then you also want to keep in mind that, hey, maybe I want to save some CB for my GB2 ability to gain some shield, but then if I use that, then I don't really have an offensive play.
Yeah.
But you also need souls.
Yeah, and you also need soul, so it's like there's a lot of kind of conflicting aspects with Golds, I think. There definitely will get better, because I know there's a resist grade 2 in set 8.
And And that stride is broken.
And the new stride is like ridiculously broken.
It's just so free. When Josh saw that the effect, all he looked for is like what it does at the end.
What does it cost?
Yeah, what's the cost? And then he looks at the end, it's free?
It's like, good, this is good.
It's amazing.
It's a good card. So I think that card will probably take the place of Scorchpoint. Because you would think like maybe Gurguit is the finisher, but I think that card will kind of overtake it because of the ability to multi-attack. And late game, your deck is so thin, you'll just take out the non-triggers, and it's like, all right, cool, we're good to go.
And Blue Shame is also really good, but it's really only good with that early game pressure. Late game, they usually don't have a counterblast, and if they do, it's like G-Guards exist, so it kind of just...
G-Guards exist. I mean, Ezel is like the only one that can really fight against Link Joker.
Yeah.
And otherwise, like Narukami or Kaguro can really screw up your field, like the units that you really want on the board.
But if it's Gurguit, it doesn't matter if it's Kaguro or Narukami, because you'll just keep calling back units.
Yeah, but that still like kind of sucks because you're just losing a bunch of resources at that point, right? So, I mean, like, it's definitely winnable. Don't get me wrong. It's a winnable thing because Kaguro doesn't have hand power. So, like, Golds is still gonna stay in tier 2 just because of that. Like, nothing that they significantly got will move them past tier 1.5 because everything in tier 1 or 1.5 will just kind of poop on it.
Yeah.
And so next we have is Neo Nectar.
Neo Nectar is really good.
It's ridiculous.
It's like they get so much power. They get a call stuff, and their power numbers are so high that it's so good against regular, like, not control decks, like Angels, Royals, I don't even know.
Even
just,
Granblue.
Like
Granblue,
they just go over.
decks.
They just go over the numbers you make for Angel Feather.
Yeah.
If you don't have a PG by first stride, you're taking 3 damage
Yeah.
At least.
at least.
And second stride, third stride, they're just consistently making those high numbers if you're not controlled. They just lose control to control.
Yeah, like the highest number column is like freaking 100k. It's like, that's ridiculous.
And they also have that one card, I don't even know what it is. It's that triple R, set 6.
What grade?
3. And it like, you put it to the bottom and you
Oh,
switch
is
top 5.
the Bloom
yeah,
one,
yeah,
right? The
yeah.
Bloom one.
The backup, right?
The
Bloom
backup
is
to
so
Asha.
good.
Like, yeah, Bloom is ridiculous.
You gotta search for that PG.
Yeah.
Top 5.
And plus with the new like stride from a set 8, like it gains a crit, right? The new stride, the new triple R.
Oh wait, the new one coming out?
Or what does it do? I don't remember.
It was like it was the Asha one, the GR, that gains a crit.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the Asha GR that gains a crit, it's just, and it's still hitting for super high numbers. If you're not playing control, you might lose that matchup if you don't hit just as hard.
You really just have to rush.
You have to have like a set game plan against them.
Yeah, it's either you
Because you
guard
have to
super
win
early.
by your second stride or you lose on their second stride. Like, it's hard.
If you've been watching Chris on the stream, you'll see how well it did.
Yeah, the one of the matches he played against Ryan, he just was hitting ridiculous numbers,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. I was just like, man, Neo Nectar is broken. And they'll probably only get they will only get better, right, with the new support.
They have a main character kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of control in tier 1,
Yeah.
and that's probably
the
why
reason
they don't
why
win.
they lose,
Yeah, but they're good. They're very underrated. Like, don't sleep on the maidens. Like,
Yeah.
they're definitely very good. If they ever got like a resist grade 2, that would probably never ever happen. They would definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
Next we have on the list is Narukami. Narukami is like really good, but it's just kind of
It's slow.
It's slowish.
I mean, like that, but that's how you're supposed to play it, right?
Except Brawler. Brawler's just good, but they just lose to everything that's not like.
I mean, they kind of just punch everything in the face with
They have no hand power. They're really just like
Besides chicken.
aggro.
Yes, the chicken, the strongest chicken.
Yeah, Vanquisher is very good. Has all that hand power, but it's very slow.
Yeah, you should definitely pick up Vanquisher. That deck is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. The
Your
numbers
trigger
in
can
game-
hit.
You won't expect the numbers.
How high can a trigger hit, Josh, for your Vanquisher deck? At least like 25, 26.
Like 36 sometimes.
Oh, Jesus.
By itself, no booster.
Like, it's pretty unexpected. I think Vanquisher is going to be the deck to play. I mean, Brawlers is kind of just going to stay the same unless they get some like really good support. I mean, otherwise the gimmick of Thunderstrike with, you know, Vanquisher's ability to put a unit in the bind zone immediately, it's just crazy. Comboed with the grade 1s and the 2s like Rock Climber and stuff, the deck is overall very, very consistent.
And they also have a Legion. I forgot what it's called.
The Crimson.
Crimson Kaiser.
Kaiser, yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiser's really good, but I think Brawlers do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to rank the clans in Narukami, it would
be Brawlers,
Vanquisher, Kaiser, yeah. And then whatever else is under that, I don't know. Something that was very unsuccessful.
Eradicators.
Oh, Eradicators is there too. I mean, Eradicators is possibly getting some new stuff, so it'd be pretty interesting to see. I just don't think they'll do as well as what Vanquisher and Brawlers already do.
But Dungaree tier 1, right?
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, Brawlers super good, just kind of slow. You definitely need draws in the deck. Rear guards hit hella hard. Chatera is one card you really want to target. One of the best grade 2s in the game. Saishin, not a lot of people expect it, so it's, you know, 1 for 1 technically because you're trading your starter for theirs.
And sometimes theirs is like broke.
Yeah, like Carbon or Judge Bow or some other stuff. TikTok, oh yeah. Kill that thing immediately. But yeah, Brawlers is still super good.
Next we have on the list is Nova. And really all they lose to is like Denial. Or like, yeah, Denial. Because it's so good. They have so much recent power. And,
yeah, even by first stride.
The first stride was like dumb. And if you don't get rid of, what was that?
Sazanda, yeah.
You lose.
Yeah, Sazanda broken. I think you could possibly even restand 3 times if you play the deck correctly and you G-guard and then you use the Victor stride, right? You could possibly restand 3 times or 2 times, whatever it is.
And a cool hang.
And cool hang too. Like, now I'm just gonna get punched in the face by Sazanda like 5 times if their stride hits, right? Assuming that happens, but it's just the numbers are crazy because they always go by multiples of 5. So technically, they're hitting magic numbers most of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know 14's not great, but it just grows and grows and grows, and it's like, man, that's just tough. Grade 2 is kind of a hard turn for them, right? You would say. If you rush them down, because then you'll deplete their resources a little bit. But nobody ever does that because Novas can just rush back.
Yeah, but they always catch up. Like,
yeah,
my first stride.
They have Ectoplasma, which is so good against like Joker and stuff. If it's early.
Ectoplasma restands. They still have that guy, and then who knows what support they're gonna get in set 10, 9, 10.
They really need their key pieces, and if they don't get those, then they kind of just lose.
Yeah, so you need to run draws in that deck because there's no real way of filtering. You know, there's not a single card that really searches, right?
No, I can't
really.
And the grade 3 that on by someone's maybe.
I don't even know.
I don't even know if they have one. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have a rush card.
That's not really good.
Yeah, and then like they also have what is that guy? Cat Butler, but no one like really plays Risers and then those shenanigans. So Risers is kind of just like sitting there, waiting for its glory to come back maybe. And Blau Cougar is really good too. It's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, Blau's is like, it's good, but it's not as good as like the G.
As the G stride stuff. So Nova's still tier 2 in our opinions. Next we have, what do we have next?
So next we have is Great Nature. And Great Nature is like, it's high. It's tier one of the higher tier 2 decks because of the new support they got. And
but your units have to be on the field, and I just think Chatnor and Tester Fox are just better.
Yeah.
Like with the Cath Palug engine, it's so free. I know Josh plays it too, and he loves that deck.
First stride, draw 4 cards, cool.
Just take all the damage. Ooh, I'm at 4, alright, I'll get 4 cards for free.
With the amount of poke you have too,
Yeah.
just 20k attacking, and you get a drawing card, and you deck bin. But like you're just having by the time you do that like maybe 3 times, 2 times, your deck's gonna be like all triggers.
Yeah. And it's like multi-attack for high number too.
Yeah, you have Crayon Tiger, and you have Manic Armor in case like you see them driving.
Yeah, you need a
bunch of ones. So that's really dumb. That's really good.
And Sage Belly just puts on so much pressure. Like
It's like a bitter Blizza.
well, Sage Belly gives all the power to the rear guard, right?
Yeah.
Or any unit.
Yeah, or any unit, and it's just like, man, now I can just abuse this person for 20 plus for like 2 attacks.
Yeah. And it's for each face of G-Zone.
Yeah, so if the game goes late, it just goes into your favor.
And with Crayon Tiger 2 extending that like huge rear, it's gonna be so good.
And their early game is super good with if you get like a Bino and then
Bino,
and Duckbill and Mika, it's like wow, perfect, just perfect. Because if you play a Blackboard Parrot, you get that draw 2 and a search for a 3, and it's like all right,
Set.
we're about to go, about to have some more fun.
So like Greenwich is very simple though.
Yeah, it'll obviously go up more, maybe with more testing. We just think that they kind of die to control, like really bad. Not saying it's not winnable. Like there's obviously a way, but because you know Great Nature normally plays 12 crit, or they also play the Tafir, but that's only in some versions, right? Because Tafir's early game isn't really good.
Yeah, because it doesn't work on Vanguard, and some people might think, hey, that's not that much, but it is a lot.
Yeah.
Because Bino just works on the van, and you don't have to have 2 cards, because that means you have to have a grade 2 to ride and a grade 2 to culture.
Yeah.
I mean to pair to color.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It's not best.
And so I guess that really just wraps up Great Nature. Next we have is Mega Colony.
Oh god,
Mega Colony, like,
the bugs are back.
yeah. Machinings are so good, so free, like pretty free. I don't know. I haven't really.
They have a good turn 2 also.
That GR they got is like they can't call any rears.
Obatramus or whatever. Yeah, that thing is ridiculous. But you have to keep in mind that it's just a stall card.
Yeah. They lose cards to stall out for
And,
a turn.
and they also like have to CB at least 2 or 3 just to make that card effective.
Yeah.
So you can plus off Dark Face, right? I think in the end, Destroyer is just better.
That's why we put it in tier 2. We're like, and not many people are using Destroyer because they don't. I don't know. They just don't like it. If you see like.
Well, I mean, if you had to choose between Machining or Dark Face, what would you play?
That's hard.
Machine. Dark Face is not that great to me.
I think it's okay.
I mean, I think it's funny. I think Dark Device is just a funny, like,
I think machining is a little easier to
understand.
consistently have like a game plan where fill machining board and
Fill
destroyer,
board and
hope for the
destroyer,
best.
yeah.
But the deck does kind of lose the control.
Yeah, I mean, like, Kaguro, like, kills our units.
Leech
Logs. And then, like, the mirror match might be, like, a little weird, right?
Yeah.
So, and also, Mega Colony, they don't really have a lot of draw power from all their units. Except Dark Face. But their gimmick is to make you not be able to stand your units. So they're just, you know, they're not doing anything.
And if you, with a lot of the meta, like Sanctuary Guard or Unified running 4 grade 3s, it might be a good match against.
Oh, it'll win that matchup. Like against No Seal, if No Seal's running 4 or 6 grade 3s, it's like, ouch. Now I'm screwed a little bit.
Yeah, but if they get their grade 3 just unlucky and you lose. It's kind
Yeah.
of luck in that match.
But I mean, like that Mega Colony didn't really like it did gain a lot of things from the tier. From the booster that it gained. So like they got really lucky. I mean, if you were really to rank like who got the best support, I would say that maybe Morumo got the playable support, right?
Mega Colony got pretty good support.
And Mega Colony, like they made Darkface way better with more units, and machining obviously just added those extra pieces to make the deck even better.
Well, that G-Guard's so good.
Yeah, and like,
it's like the flare, but just
Bug Flare, Super Bug Flare is like super good. Like that's just broken to me.
Green Nature, like you got support, but you didn't really get support for the good.
Yeah, like the main deck didn't really change, in our opinions.
Only the strides.
The strides,
Yeah, just that's it. But like, you only really need to go into Cath Palug and then you win.
The Armadillo guys.
Oh, and Armadillo's alright.
Yeah.
I don't think he's amazing.
Which one?
The Ardillo, the
25k.
the thing that choose.
He's way better in Green Nature though.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, not Green Nature, Tester Fox.
Yeah, in that version, yeah.
But Big Willie, no, because Big Willie doesn't really retire, so you can't really use like duck bills and like those good cards.
Yeah, the broken
chat
cards.
Fox is super good.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of wraps up tier 2. Just remember, like, none of these decks are in any order. Like tier 2 is just because they lose to most of the things in tier 1, and it's not saying that they're not good. This is just where we see them fit in our meta at the moment.
Not too consistent and not too broken.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, the decks in tier 1 just do it better.
And even 1.5.
Yeah. So that's tier 2. We're coming back with tier 3. Back at it again with the tier 3. We have here, nigga, just
Dark
read it.
Irregulars.
Oh my god, what's wrong with this guy?
Oracle Think Tank.
Ew. They should just be in tier 4, because who cares?
Tachikaze, Spike Brothers, and Pale Moon. All of these are like, they're good, but not, they can't compete with like any of the decks above.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, Tachikaze did top.
Tachikaze, like, I would say the best ones are in here, Tachikaze, Pale Moon. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like Pale Moon, it has some good against control, like except Kaguro is Naru.
Well, it's still, I feel like it's still
kind
Because
of
like it all goes back into the soul, so it kind of can't get retired or locked or anything, unless it's universe. It just is denial.
Yeah.
Dark Irregulars, it's good, but it doesn't really have the support
that it needs yet, maybe, like
Blade Wing. It doesn't really have that rear guard pressure except by
yeah, because everything just goes into the soul, and then it's like, all right. But it does have like really good defensive plays.
Yeah, it's very good in defense. Maybe you can like catch them off guard. Go to right.
Yeah, the G-Guard kind of just what's it called? It kind of accelerates the deck, right? The Fighters Collection one, but the new one is like you would have to just wait kind of until you have 15 soul, and that's like just super late in the game. I think Blade Wing kind of has it over Shaharlet and Amon right now, just because it can send everything back into the deck.
Yeah.
So say you Soul Blast a couple triggers, and it's like, all right, cool, now I can put it back in the deck for free. Like, you're not gonna deck out as much, I would think, and plus with access to Tybalt and what's his name, Chairman or Gilderoy, right? And then you're gonna add a couple of the GR just to like add all this guard restrict. It's gonna be good for the deck. Shaharlet does get better, and Amon is still good because of Barmaid Grace. I just think, in my opinion, Blade Wing is just the one that the deck you want to play at the moment. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, Shaharlet is like, it's not that great. It's just full charges a lot and just sticks out.
Well, it has retire too.
Oh yeah, the random control.
Oh,
That is nice. Yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I've like never played against it. I just
Oh yeah, because if you have like 6 or
Yeah,
more,
on
you
stride,
retire.
if you have 6 cards in soul, when Vanguard attacks, your opponent chooses to retire one.
Yeah, I totally forget like when they do that. I was just like, oh, I have to retire? Crap.
Yeah, and their new stride is another
Yeah, their new stride is just another garter strict.
another retire on Swagers.
Yeah. So that's like just really good too.
It's pretty good.
But otherwise, Dark Irregulars is like, meh, you know.
Next we have is Oracle Think Tank, and they're just
They're just there.
They draw.
Best thing they have is
Have
Silent
Silent
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah, Silent Tom, but Silent Tom like is doo-doo now because of G-Guard. So it's like, oh, Tom is hitting me for 24? Okay, G-Guard. Easy peasy.
And they just all out Silent Tom, I guess. I don't even know.
OTT can definitely deck out real quick. You use like all the on-stride abilities super fast and whatever. The rearguards don't do much, in my opinion, except kind of just supporting the Vanguard and, you know, what their whole gimmick is really trying to do.
Not much to say about it.
Yeah, it's
like,
whatever. That's why they're
not
tier
underrated.
3 because they're playable and they teach the basics of tempo and like how to just understand the game a little more, in my opinion. I think
they have no pressure. Except
yeah, if that was if that was like a starting, if you're just getting into Vanguard, I think that would be the deck that could teach you the basics very well.
yeah.
Otherwise, that's it. But
What's left?
we have
Spike Brothers.
Spike Bros.
Lots of pressure.
Okay, like this deck might bring up lots of debate, I think, because some people think it belongs in tier 2 and stuff like that. Yes, Rising Nova hits like a truck, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the deck is just a one-trick pony. If you don't kill me your first stride, you're not gonna beat me,
Yeah.
right? Because everything from your hand goes into your soul. You're gonna hit me 5 times or 6, 7, whatever, like however many times, but if I stay at low damage, I take it. If I have a PG, your stride does nothing, then I survive. And it's like, okay, are you done attacking? Yes. Alright, how many cards in hand? 4. Okay, you're dead. Like, that was literally how one of my games went against Rising Nova. And I was just like, alright, cool. I can win now.
They might win with those multi-attacks. I've seen it do well, but it's not that, like, they'll lose. They're not really consistent.
Yeah, like Nikki plays Link Choker. Obviously, that's a bad matchup, and I know that they went to game 3, but that was because Nikki wasn't able to ride the right Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
And so the game just went longer, and it became a little more in favor of the Spike Brothers player.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously Rising Nova is going to get more support. We'd have to wait and see how it does. But I just, like, I just don't think Spike Bros is that good.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't put it in tier 4, just because tier 4 is, like, the decks that just don't do anything, in a way. That's just poo-poo in our meta. But I just wouldn't personally, like, play Spike Brothers. Like, good and best of 1, not great in what you're trying to accomplish. Like, I know Josh doesn't like it. just explain why you don't like it.
What, Spike Bros?
Yeah.
It just sucks. That's all. I don't want to waste energy.
So next we got is Tachi Kaze. And this is like the best out of this tier.
Yeah, tier 3, Tachikase is probably the best.
Only because of that, like, what was it called?
Dogma.
Dogma.
And then Gaia kind of just makes the decks cost a lot easier.
Yeah, but like, it just loses to control. Not like Joker control.
Yeah, but Ancient Dragons is a really good grade too.
Yeah.
You know. But everything in, I think Tachikaze is so freaking expensive.
Like, cost-wise.
Yeah, cost-wise, like, for what you want to accomplish. I mean, granted, Dogma is just retire 5, but, you know, if you play against a smart player, they're just going to kill your stuff, so you can't engorge them. And so, Tachikaze is like, is like pretty good. You know, it can definitely catch you by surprise.
So don't.
If in the right hands, right? Congratulations to the player in France who topped with Gaia, because that's really cool to see, honestly. And then lastly we have a tier like 3.5, which is where Morumo lies. Did you delete it again?
I hate this ZC.
What did you do? No.
When you go to recently deleted.
What did you do?
I guess I accidentally pressed the trash. No.
Oh my god.
No, when you press the trash, it doesn't give you an option to, like, are you sure? So
Oh, you really did delete it.
Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, Morumo is in tier 3.5.
Oh my
We didn't forget any in tier 3, right?
I have. We'll just add it.
Whatever, it's tier
Whatever,
3, man. Who
yeah.
cares?
Tier 3.5 is
No.
Morumo and possibly Genesis.
Nobatama.
Or
Tama's 4, dude.
yeah, Nubatoma's
For
4.
sure.
But tier 3.5 is Morumo. Yes, they're a lot more playable, and yes, they're hella funny with their new with their skill of Shadow Strike.
Shadow Stitch.
Shadow Stitch, whatever. The GR does make it a lot better.
With that rear guard drive check.
Yeah, the rear guard drive
That's just
check
like-
is just funny.
That's
but
just funny, but like it's not really amazing.
I mean, that's one play. And then you constantly have to worry about the copies and stuff like that. But otherwise, Morumo will just have to wait and see how much better they do. Because, like, the support they got was, you know, so whatever. It does fix some parts, but then it doesn't, like, make the deck over the top, right? It doesn't, like, nudge him into, like, a competitive deck.
They have a lot of poke power.
Poke power, yeah. And then we have Genesis with Revelation, which is just like...
It's coming up, yeah. It's not that great.
I mean, would you really want to rest your unit to soul charge? I don't know. That's just me. Like,
I haven't really seen people playing it, but like, I saw the infinite loop. It looked interesting, but I think it just loses its better
I mean, and
decks.
like, plus random soul charging just sucks. Like, the best deck that soul charges is Dark Irregulars.
Because they can...
They can choose what they want, and then the next is Pale Moon, right?
Oh, that's what we forgot.
Oh, well, we talked about it a little
We
bit.
talked about
A little bit. Pale Moon is good. It's better than most of the tier 3. It's like that and Tachikaze are up there. But anyways, Revelation is just not... I just don't think it's a good mechanic.
Yeah. Nobatama, it's like...
It's at the bottom right now, in our opinions. Like, yes, like, there was a Nubatama that did do well at Team League, but that's Team League. You know what I mean?
Let's get carried.
Yeah. But, like, you know, congrats to that player, of course. But, like, Nubatama as a whole, when you look at it, like, why does it matter? Like, yeah, it has that cool, like, discarding effect, but you know that Bushiroad's not going to give it what it needs to be broken, right? Because it is a broken mechanic at the end of the day. But, like, okay, now your rear guards kind of suck, and the deck doesn't have draw potential.
And it just has, it has no drop potential, so when you get rushed, you just kind of lose. And it does have that rushing factor, because whatever, I forgot its keyword.
After image.
After image, it does bounce the hand, but then, like, it's not really much. Like,
yeah, it doesn't even matter.
there's no search power.
It's like, okay, cool, I'll get my cards back. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Put it in the bind zone. Alright, I'll take it back. Thank you.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that kind of just wraps up our meta, you know, from tier 1 to 4 in our opinions. I mean, let us know what you think in the comments section below. If there's any changes, like, I mean, we don't hold the answers to everything. This is just our opinion, so don't roast us on this. But give us your ideas, give us your input. That would be really helpful. And then we'll be back with talking a little bit about Bushiroad. We're back with a little bit of Bushiroad talk. You know, considering that New York had double loss, there's speculation that California might have a double loss, and that just kind of sucks. You're fucking laughing. Anyways, you know, we saw on the Facebook that France had 3 turns in time, so that would be really cool if if we had that, because double loss just sucks. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it's kind of like nice to know that when you're in time, you have like you can change your strategy to where like you might heal, you might go do more pressure. Kind of just sucks. You just insta lose after time.
Yeah, you're just rushed in what your decision making process would be.
And you both insta lose. Not even like you don't get like 1 point. Like there's like 3 points in total.
You just lose.
You just lose. So
And,
Like all that practice for nothing, man.
some people get really stubborn. Like some people will do gyro. But like there's just people that like they're like oh.
But that sucks too. It's like you practice that much to just roll a dice.
yeah. Might as well say whoever
Just,
goes
like,
first
take
wins.
the extra 3 turns with it.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I don't think that it changes the game that much. Like if you take 3 extra turns. I mean, that's how long some games take.
4.
Yeah. 0,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, like
1, 2, 3.
you know, if we didn't have
What
a
was it?
time restraint like that, you know, games would be really like skillful. I think, and especially if we ever had like a best out of 3 format, right? That'd be super cool.
But I feel like in a best out of 3 format, if like they do that, they kind of like just have to put
A sideboard in.
siding.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then like just people are just gonna complain. And with the sideboard, people are that's gonna be a bigger deck box, and people are gonna complain about that. So
The
it's
deck
just
box.
there's always complaining that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's kind of inevitable with these card games, you know.
So honestly, I would just make it like a best out of 1 until top 8, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, top 8, 2 out of 3 would definitely be helpful.
Unless you want to like go to day 2, like they'll make that Vanguard.
I feel we should have a day 2. Like, who cares about buddy fight? You care about buddy fight?
I don't think anyone.
I don't know how to play it.
I mean, like, Weiss Schwartz, yeah, it's still a popular game for Bushy Road, but it's like, if you're holding Weiss and buddy fight, why don't you just hold why don't you just hold Vanguard and then Vanguard and Weiss? Because buddy fight is practically, like, non-existent.
People play, but it's just
Yeah, like, I mean, it doesn't matter. I would rather just play Vanguard for 2 days and see what happens.
they
You
can't
know?
really drop the whole game.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Kind of
like,
like screw over all the buddy fight players.
yeah.
So it kind of just sucks.
Oh, I mean but doesn't that happen to card games though? It's like how Digimon kind of just died.
Yeah, but I feel like those like a lot of because they printed a lot of products, and I think they have to make their money first and then drop the game.
Yeah, I think with Vanguard, if we ever had a tournament fee, I would not mind paying it.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, I
to
don't
have-
like, 'cause they have to pay for hotels, they have to pay for the
Yeah, for some players, but
main
like,
event.
okay, but if the tournament fee is like $2, $5, $10, I don't think that's a problem. You're already spending the money anyways to stay wherever you're at. Save an extra $10, you know.
For Bushiroad to pay for all of that, like it's kind of like amazing that they're paying for a tournament for
Yeah.
the winners, the main like hall event, the building that they're in.
Yeah.
It must be expensive.
And considering like that we live in California, we don't necessarily reap the benefits of having a free flight to wherever the world championship is, right? In a sense, everyone else kind of just get 1 and 2, get a free flight to California, but we have to drive and we get a room, so it's like,
If it's in California.
yeah, if it's in Cali, right? That's assuming.
That's like the last year I've been in California, I think.
So I think that if Bushiroad made their tournament structure a little better, like maybe a 2-day event, and people were willing to pay the money, that would show them that we want Vanguard to be competitive, right? Like that's all people really want. And I'm changing lanes. Vanguard being competitive is what most of the community wants, because double loss sucks, right? You know, we spend all this time preparing for a dice roll, a double loss, getting all the way to round 8, right? And then losing and not making top 8 by a point or something like that. Or maybe even just having rounds like what was it? Just whatever they did in Atlanta or something. They just skipped rounds, or they just stopped wanting to do rounds.
Like one amount of rounds, but then
They cut it one short.
Yeah, like I think that everyone that goes wants to play at least 3 or 4 games, right? That's the goal. And like obviously you run into bad luck, you can brick and stuff like that, and that's why there's side events. But I just want like the fact that I'm spending at least like getting my butt up at 8 in the morning or whatever to get to Pomona, to have an event start at 12 and say it ends at 8 o'clock at night. You know, I want it to be worthwhile. And I think the whole community wants that. I hope Bushiroad does change that, because Vanguard is very competitive. Like, granted, yes, I would say 70 to 80% of the game is skill, and 20 to 30% is luck, right? Because at least 17 or 16 divided by 50 is like 33%, somewhere around there.
Like about
What, 16 divided by 50? Oh, starter. Yeah, so I did 16 because it triggers. But anyways, it's around there, right? 30% is luck. Okay. But there are definitely moves you can do to just set yourself apart from the people that practice a lot and the people that don't. And I hope Bushiroad does see that.
And like, what I hear is like the anime is getting more serious and more like adult-like. Like, if it's like showing in that, maybe like the card game is getting more, you know, adult-like and less childish and more like people are
Competitive.
more competitive.
Yeah, like serious time. Like, I mean, if anyone saw the last episode, some serious stuff like really happened. So, you know, hopefully that could definitely translate over. I know that like as long as you practice hard, you're gonna do fine. You know, just be ready for any matchup. But you know, hopefully Bushiroad will take into account what the community wants, right? Like, what do you want, Josh? If Bushiroad had to change anything right now?
I would love best of 3, or just make every regional team league.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
I mean, if they want to do best of 1, just make it all team league.
Yeah, I mean,
Closest thing you're gonna get best of 3.
considering like most of the anime, they're all in teams, right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Otherwise, you know, you can use dice now. That's great.
Oh yeah.
You know, definitely. Hopefully, it speeds up a lot of matches and.
People don't have to like count and stuff.
Yeah, it won't.
Get closer to the real numbers.
Yeah, instead of just an assumption,
It's
right?
like, oh, 26. I'll just make it 26.
The one like is like a 30-minute time at least. Because a lot of decks are going into the late game, slow pace.
I think 30 minutes would be ideal, right?
Because right now it's 25.
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 turns after time. That'd be fair.
That'd be like an hour round. So that would end up. So like, say it started at
At least a 40-minute, like depending on, because everyone plays a different deck, right?
Yeah.
And certain decks like counter or control, and control is typically slow. So if you're gonna make that type of deck, why not format it to the tournament style, like the tournament setting, right? Because if you start to pick apart like a control deck, then you lose all aspects of control, and you're just playing like a vanilla deck that just doesn't do what it does, right? Do you get what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. What else could we say? I don't know. Well, hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the discussion, that we have done. Again, I'm Clark. This is Josh, and that's Nikki. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comment section below. What's your wish list for Bushiroad? Any suggestions, right? Like, I hope they hear us as a community, and as you know, hopefully they'll see this video. But otherwise, Vanguard Central out. See you later.